Hello, and welcome to another episode of Scavenger Life. This is episode 467 at scavengerlife.com.
Okay, where should we start? Let's start with good or bad. You want to start with good or bad?
Bad.
This is a lot about
Bad?
you. This is a lot about you. Bad. Okay, well, it's actually...
What does that say about me?
There actually isn't anything bad.
Oh, good, great.
So last week I was just talking about, my birthday and getting older. What's so funny? What's so funny?
Funny.
And, I forgot what I honestly forgot what I was talking about. Which shows, how all these deep thoughts I have are really...
What did I even say last week that everyone reacted to? Yeah.
It was interesting. There were a lot of people on the forum saying... It was something about just, choosing how you want to live and, doing the kind of work you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's ultimately very important as you get older because...
Right.
It doesn't really get any better, so you got to start choosing things now. And people are like, well, I got kids. I don't really have a choice in what I do. I got to make money. My family's important. And I get that. That is so true. That's one of the things that we have going for us. We're child free. So we...
On purpose.
I
chose not to have children.
Sure. And that's fine.
Yep.
So we have a little more flexibility. But I will say, growing up in a family where, my dad would be one of those guys I would say, well, I had to work. And,
yeah.
I know things weren't always great, but I just had to work to make money.
Right. Of course.
It's unfortunate, though. I wish that my dad, if I went back in time, I wish I could tell that man, you don't have to work so hard. We don't need as much. We would rather have you around.
Yeah.
We'd rather have, a relationship with you than just working like a dog.
Yeah.
Like a dog.
Sure.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought, I don't know, is
this a therapy session? I'm charging you for this.
Kind of. Something we did this week, we started doing our firewood for the winter. We do this
it's June, but now's the time.
Yeah, now's the time to do it. And, this is part of our scavenging. We heat our home with wood.
Yes.
And the way we get our wood is we get it for free. We either...
Get it on Craigslist.
Look on Craigslist. People cut down a tree. They're like, please come and get this wood from us.
It's literally garbage, they think.
Right, and I get it. Or we have probably 3-4 acres of trees around us, and
trees die.
A year a tree will die, and we cut it down, and we cut it, and then we split it. And you're very good at you like being a part of it. You're there helping me. We have a gas powered splitter that we rent, and you're there.
I literally just press the button.
Right.
I'm split.
Yep.
Although I will say this, Jay laughed at me because he was splitting the wood by himself, and I was like, "Oh, I'll help you," And Jay's like, I don't need you to help. But I honestly think it's faster if you're loading the wood and throwing it into piles, and I'm telling it to split. I think a 2-person, you just get it done. Because we're renting it, you only want to rent it for certain periods, so it's cheaper.
Try and do it half a day. But it's nice. I think it does save us money because we don't have to buy propane or electric or however people heat their houses.
Yeah.
I think it's also just, I don't know, it makes me feel good to that's one thing we have control over.
Yeah.
We cut enough wood, we're good no matter what. Anything happens, we're going to be warm at winter time.
We had another source of wood this year that was really exciting.
What's that?
From the town park.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We have 3 buildings in town, and we were there, and you were working on one of the buildings, and they had cut a tree down in the park. It's the Greenway, and they were like, "You can come get this. It's first come, first serve."
Well, yeah, and it's a guy that owns the building next to one of ours. He has a workshop,
right?
Work equipment, and he
cut the tree down.
And
that's
he
right.
cut it, and he's like, "Go get it."
Well, and then there were 2 more trees where they just had piled it up and waited for someone to come get it. And we were like, let's go get it.
Yeah, so we did it.
So that's awesome.
It was good.
Free wood.
Yep. This is something we had talked about a long, long time ago. Someone on the forum came on, and I bet people saw this in the news. There's this guy named Forrest Fenn, in New Mexico, and he's that one. He like made like a little treasure chest with like gems and gold, and it's like a couple $1 million, and he hid it somewhere up in the mountains. And for the past
10 years? I think it's 10 years.
People have been trying to find it.
So he wrote a book. Right. He wrote like a little booklet poem that had all the clues.
Right.
I think I read part of it, and I'm one of those people where I'm like, I will never I have no idea. Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about.
Right.
I have no clue. Well, somebody found it.
Supposedly somebody found it. And smartly they didn't say who they were.
They're anonymous. They should stand. It's like when you win the lottery. Do not tell anyone you won the lottery if you don't have to.
I think like 5 people died trying to find it.
A few people died or went missing because it... Now, he claimed it wasn't like a treacherous area, but some people thought the clues led to sort of like weird treacherous trails in New Mexico or Colorado area. And
I was trying to remember why we as scavengers were talking about it. It was mainly because he was an art collector, and what he started doing was he started buying up sites in New Mexico. And unfortunately, people, like scientists, were mad at him. He was digging up artifacts, like Indian, like Native American artifacts, and selling them. That's one way he made a lot of money.
Someone had sent me the article in the New York Times or something talking about the poem and because as scavengers, like, aren't you always treasure hunting? You know, like to find precious gold and gems that someone left on purpose.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
But I guess as a scavenger, you're like, he's just selling stuff that he finds. But, it's very kind of ethically questionable just because, history of a people. Let's talk about eBay. Free shipping supplies. We talked about that.
Extra coupon.
eBay said they were going to give an extra coupon for those of us that have a store subscription. And they finally gave the code to get.
I don't know where the code was published. I've only found it on Reddit. We never got a message. We never got an email.
We did get a message.
Oh, we did?
Yep.
Where are those
eBay messages? But so if you have a basic store, basically you get another you get another $25.
Yeah.
And a premium store you get another $50, and an anchor store you get $150.
So it's basically like getting an extra quarter.
And I think you have to
coupon
to get it by the end of the month.
Yeah. So the next quarter starts July 1st. So you have to use it by June 30th. So I put them on. If you didn't see that message like me, I did put them on the forum under shipping the final.
And if you go on eBay on your my eBay thing, it's under the announcements. So
okay, good. So it's there. I bought some stuff. Obviously, I was like, I'm going to use this right now.
Yeah,
it was great.
And some people were saying, like, I don't need anything more. I'm like, just
buy tape,
buy stuff, and just store it, because I don't know how long eBay is going to keep doing this. So just store
that. Like that's what I use my coupon every.
So we bought tape, 4x4 boxes.
I did, yes. I needed more tape, so I got, I think, 24 rolls of tape, and then I got it was so funny because when we first got those 4x4 boxes, they're these weird foldable boxes. I'm like, it's like weird origami. I'm like, how would anybody figure this out? And I use them all the time, so I bought more of those.
How come they're a good size?
Just when you're shipping little trinkets, like little non-delicate things, buttons, or like I ship. I don't know, like things like just things that are little that aren't delicate, which I seem to have a lot of.
Yep.
I use them. So I thought, okay, I'll grab some of those. And then what I bought the most of was those little eBay stickers that says, "Thanks for supporting my small business, eBay." I've been putting those on I used a whole batch of them when I first bought them for last quarter, especially now during the pandemic. Like, I think it's a really good sentiment for eBay to convey to buyers. Like, we are small sellers, you know, like you're buying at a time that's really important. It's always important, but I really like that. Like, I put it right on the box next to the shipping label so people see it. And I even thought, oh, if I run out of these before the next quarter, I'm going to make my own, because I think it's important to say, I'm a small business.
Cool.
Now's the time when you need to support small businesses online.
I think that that's something that people need to feel like. I hope that that's something that helps bring people to eBay instead of Amazon or someplace else,
or like Target or Walmart or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Although I know there are small businesses on Amazon, but there's also a lot.
Yeah, there are third party.
I was also thinking too with eBay before we do our numbers. You know, it's been slowing down some.
It feels slower. Yeah, it is slower.
It feels more normal.
Yeah. It feels like normal time.
It doesn't feel bad. Sales seem more normal for this time of year, whereas like when the pandemic hit, it seemed like everyone's sales are really going crazy. I wonder, I hope there weren't people who were trying to get in on it, and then they went and bought a lot of stuff.
Right.
And now just when they're starting to put stuff up,
slows down.
Everything's slowing down. So I hope people did not do that.
I do want to mention this, though. So usually tax day is April 15th, but then the pandemic was like right in the middle of that. So the IRS or whoever extended the deadline to July 15th. So I'm thinking there's going to be another. So if tax day is actually July 15th, people are going to be getting refunds in the middle of July.
I wonder, yeah.
So
good.
That might be that whole tax day boost in the middle of the summer, which now that I think about it, I'm like, they should do that all the time.
Yeah.
July.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that's true. But July is historically very, very slow. That's why they have Prime Day on like July 15th or whenever Prime Day is, because July is a slow retail.
And I think everyone is kind of holding their breath, just trying to see what's going to happen as things are slowly opening back up. Is it going to be okay and kind of we get back to normal? All those people that were unemployed because they got laid off by their jobs, are they going to start getting hired back? I mean, just
so many questions.
You know, how long is that going to take? I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I know.
Yep. Okay, so let's talk about our eBay store. We sold 42 items. That's good.
Yeah, no, 42 is good. Although there have been some highs higher than that.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's pretty good.
No, 42 is good.
And we made $1,393.
Okay, look.
And 3 cents.
This is why we do the numbers. Right. Because I was like, I bet we made $800.
It was better than a week ago. It was like a couple $100 more. So
yeah. There are a few high dollar items that boosted things, which is nice.
Yep.
So in terms of quantity, you're like, oh, it's not that many. But
and plus our average selling price was about $33. Which
is higher than some
which is not good, not bad. Like that's kind of what we want, is to average about $30. I mean, things we sold. So there's some things I started splitting it up into things that were good sales for a profit.
For what
and then
it is.
Some things are good where we were making a profit on it, but they're just so satisfying.
Yeah, okay.
So just pure money. Like I'm a robot. We sold those curtains, these West Elm curtains, for $150, and that's a very rare a retail arbitrage.
Yeah, we don't do that very often.
Where we were at a West Elm and they had like a closeout or whatever, and
these curtains. It's one curtain panel, but it's huge. It's 96 by 96. It's linen and cotton, and it's a blackout. It's got a blackout layer. These are very expensive. They're well over $200. I think I bought them for $30 each, and they were so heavy. I remember we were in New York. Yeah, we bought so many of them. I was like, oh my God.
And we shipped them home.
And I've been sitting on them for like 2 years. But
I think we've sold 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, we've sold a majority of them. I have 2 left. But they've been selling recently, and they're great.
Yeah.
I love selling them.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes.
And speaking of like these kind of stores, like these decor stores. We've been checking out that show on Netflix, Queer Eye.
Yeah.
Where, these guys go and they like find someone who's like real sad and depressed and need help, and they go and they like help them in all aspects of their life so they can like be more confident. And it's a great show. It's like, especially this time, it's like super heart, makes my heart warm up. But, part of it is they always take them to like a decor store or to like a place to buy clothes.
Right.
And they're like, you should come to places like this and buy like all new clothes, and you'll feel really good about yourself.
And you're like, it's so expensive.
You know how, they go and they like do their whole apartment and they give them a wardrobe. I'm like,
so expensive.
How much money you just spent on that stuff? Like, I get it. Like,
that
would probably make me feel real good if I had a whole new house of furniture from West Elm. I'm like, but that's probably like $30,000.
Look, there was a couple episodes where they redid some people's kitchens. In one of the apartments, this one guy, they moved the kitchen. They were the kitchen was here, but we made that into an office, and now the kitchen's over here. And you're like, that costs so much money.
And then here's like a Smeg refrigerator. Yeah, I'm like, that would make me feel really good.
Yeah, and those people are renting those apartments too. So you're like, how does that work? But
that's the only issue I have with that show is that the guys act like, well, you should do this for you. Like, why aren't you doing this? Like, you're wearing sweatpants, so that's going to make you feel
From
sad.
Goodwill.
And you look dumpy. Why not just go and buy $20,000 worth of really nice clothes from this really fancy store that no one goes into like us,
Look, I see this like sad, depressed version of people. I'm like, oh my God, that's me. Sweatpants and like a used oven from Craigslist. Like that's me.
And messy hair.
I know, my hair's all like hasn't been cut in like 7 months. And I cut it myself.
Okay, we sold 2 posters separately, and one was $75 and one was $85.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood was one.
Yeah.
And then
what was the other one?
It was like it was a White House poster from the Clinton years.
That was framed. So one of them was rolled up, and the Clint Eastwood movie poster got sent to England, and it was a roll up, which was great because it's really light. The second one was President Clinton went to Belfast in the holidays in the year 2000, and there was some poster. That was framed with glass. That sucked to pack, but it was $75.
$75.
I think it was $75.
But
I'll take that sale, $75.
It's just one of those weird things that all of us probably see in the back of a thrift store at an auction.
Did someone want that?
Who would want it?
Somebody wanted it.
And then we sold I guess it's like a cookie box. It's like a ceramic
biscuit tin.
Box.
Or it's not a tin.
Made out of
porcelain.
And we sold it for $45. And the reason why that's good is we bought the whole pattern set for $50.
It was $60. And it was an entire case, basically. Right. Just so many pieces of this basket weave made. If anyone's looking at my store, I think my mom texted me where did you get all that stuff? I'm like, I just bought all of it.
We've been going a little bit crazy with the porcelain just because we realize it's just one of those things that people overlook or don't want to deal with or whatever, and people buy it. So one piece sold for the whole lot.
Almost.
Okay, what was satisfying? So this made us money, but it's satisfying. Dehumidifier parts. Oh,
don't you love it? Don't you love it? Okay, dehumidifier. Did we talk about parting it out? Okay, I forget. We bought this thing for $20. Used it for 2.5 years. The coils leaked the refrigerant. I figured that's what happened. I saw what happened, and I was like, you know what? There are dudes and ladies like myself who are like, oh, I need the front face. It cracked. Or I need the water tank. I sold the water tank. I sold the removable filter, the air filter.
So for $16 and $55. And
it's $55.
And we still have 10 more parts.
So many more parts. of this Walmart brand
Yeah.
dehumidifier.
So cool.
Love it. Couldn't love it more.
We sold a little flocked figurine. And flocked is like, it's like a little...
It's like fuzzy.
It's like from the 50s.
No, the 80s.
80s?
This one's for sure from the 80s.
It's from the 80s. Oh.
Yeah.
It's just like furry, like fuzzy.
Fuzzy.
Anyway, I mean, it's like...
It's like the most piece of garbage.
Garbage, $16. Very
Found at the bottom of a box. I almost threw it. I was like, this thing, it's dirty.
Yep.
It's falling apart. I was like, you know what? Somebody's going to buy this.
Satisfying.
And they did.
And it sold pretty quick, too.
Yeah, like in a couple days.
And we sold, out of the 42 things we sold, 15 of those were pieces of clothing or shoes.
Yes.
So that was very satisfying to us when we're kind of... We're kind of trying to push, like, get our clothes.
But I still have so many
inventory down, so that's very nice. Scavenger of the week. I went to another auction, or I did an online auction and went and drove to get it. And the big score, which we will see, was a whole table of outdoor decor. Is that the right word?
It's like
little sculptures
made of concrete.
Yeah,
I think it's concrete and plaster.
Concrete, or what's that?
Like a resin.
Yeah, it's like a hard. Yeah, and I think it's going to do very well because there are some people really into that stuff.
Yeah, like garden decor.
They. I mean, it'd be super cool if they were like gnomes and stuff, but they were like angels and like
one's Alice in Wonderland,
frogs,
isn't it? Yeah, I mean that's pretty neat. Yeah. Swan. There's a couple planters that are swans. I mean, the only thing for me, obviously, is packing that stuff and making sure it doesn't break in transit. And they're heavy. I mean, that Alice in Wonderland comes up to my waist. That thing is large. Jay brought the boxes in, and I was like, what the hell is this?
But people pay
a lot of money for those.
Yeah, I don't know about these specifically, but I
think so. I mean, there are people that are really into that stuff. So,
but that's what makes what we do fun, is like being able to experiment and try brand new things. So we'll see.
I think it'll.
And then I got a bunch of other stuff too. So
I don't even know what's in those boxes. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, our helper is she works till the end of the month, so 2 more weeks. We probably have her for 4 or 5 more days, I hope. And then supposedly she's gone to her full-time job. So we're gonna have to find somebody new.
Yeah, to help us.
Or we go back to taking pictures and all that.
I mean, I think that's just gonna happen.
Yep.
For temporarily, anyway, till we find somebody else.
Customer issues.
Returns.
Yep. We got a couple. Well, we got kind of a slew of returns started, but not everyone has mailed them back, so we will see.
Yeah.
And that's why we always tell people, don't just refund automatically. Allow people to go through the process of mailing back, because oftentimes they don't mail it back to you.
Well, the thing that stinks now, I mean, is eBay has the return window open for 35 days.
Is it 35 business days or calendar days?
I don't know. I thought it was calendar days.
Yeah.
I mean, 35 business days, you're like, is that like 55 days or something?
Yeah, there was a post in the forum where people were saying they couldn't even close the case after 35 days because eBay is giving everyone more time because the post office is slow.
It's slow, yeah.
People, the pandemic is happening, and so. But the good thing is, most people, if they're going to return it, they're going to return it right away.
I have not been seeing that, actually. People are... Because eBay does this thing now where they send a reminder before it closes, like a couple days before it closes, which is fine. They should do that. Like the sewing machine. That guy waited till the last day to ship that thing back.
Yeah.
He waited a month.
Yep.
So, what can you do?
So things we learned in the forum, someone said that it's time to sell your bike if you have one and it's not being used, your bicycle.
Guess what we sold on Craigslist today?
We sold a bike today.
Yeah.
It actually wasn't ours. It's one we bought at like a yard sale.
Yeah, it was for flipping,
right.
I guess.
And and he bought it $75. So
it was a vintage French.
Yeah.
10-speed or whatever. It was in rough shape.
Yeah. But so it's hard supposedly to find bikes to buy right now because of the pandemic. People want to not take public transport, or people are just wanting to get outside.
Yeah.
Supposedly it's hard to find bikes at Target and Walmart or buying online. So if you have a bike
and you don't want it,
sell it. Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. I had it on local pickup on eBay.
Yep. I won't go into this too much because it was definitely a big topic of conversation, and it is a mystery box.
Yeah.
That there is this thing.
Yeah.
That I had no idea about. You know, I kind of keep an eye on what people are talking about online, but this is a whole new thing. It doesn't even seem real.
So it's not a junk box.
Right. So it's not like you go on eBay and here's like buy my junk drawer. And there's like a photo of just like a bunch of random stuff.
And if you can pick out things, that could be valuable.
This is like a mystery box where I'm not telling you what's in it.
No photos, right?
And I'm telling you it's worth something.
Ooh, that is a scam.
And I think a lot of these are being sold more through people's websites.
Not on eBay.
So like they're someone on a YouTube who sells on eBay and makes a video, but they also have their own website, and then people, because I don't think you can actually sell those.
I don't think so.
I'm actually can you buy a mystery box without photos on eBay?
I mean, I feel like that goes against eBay.
Can.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's one of those things where like you really can't, but people do.
Somehow.
Yeah. It's like, it's mystery box. Could be electronics, beauty, gift card, clothes, Funko, or more decor. I don't know what Funko is.
I think Funko is
$30.
these little like toy figurines.
Okay.
Where they're like superheroes and stuff.
It's $30.
So
you don't know.
What's the picture?
Look, it's just,
oh no! It's just like it's a graphic with a question mark on the box.
And plus it says premium quality.
Where are they shipping from? Is it the U.S.?
Evansville, Indiana. So anyway, that's all popped up because this one guy.
That's like gambling.
Yeah. So this one guy did a post on Reddit where he was like, "I bought $1,000
mystery box,
and he actually unpacked it, and it was like concert tees." And
he's like, "This is not worth
$1,000." Anyway, and people were
the reason. Let's just put this into context too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all resellers. The reason you would buy a mystery box for us is to resell the stuff and make back your money.
Right.
So if someone spends $1,000 on it, I mean, they aren't like, "Oh, I just want to buy $1,000 of stuff for myself." No, they're trying to flip it.
Right.
So,
and I think some of these places are saying you'll be able to sell this and make at least 30% profit.
Right.
I mean, by their estimation.
calculations.
But the guy like opens it up. He's like, "There's no way I could sell this stuff."
Man.
To me, it just I don't really understand it. If it is like gambling, but it's like gambling, you'll always lose.
The house always wins.
I mean, I don't think someone is going to put super high value dollar stuff
because they're just going to sell that stuff on eBay themselves.
Yeah, and it just seems like it seems like a great gig for whoever is building these things. Like they're just taking their dead piles and selling it, and I don't know.
I'd almost rather that they would like sell a junk drawer lot or a concert tee lot. Where if they sold that for $1,000, that's crazy.
It kind of reminds me of the storage when people were really into buying storage
units.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people are still doing it.
Yeah.
But there was that show where
Storage Wars,
where you couldn't actually see in it.
Yeah.
But at least you
could see in it. You couldn't go in it.
Right, but
you could just
at least it gave you a little bit of info. But I always hated those because I'm like, I'm not going to just bid up on.
I have no idea what these boxes are.
Yeah, I guess it does buy into this whole thing now with, like in video games, some countries are wanting to make it illegal in video games to have these. It's a loot box.
A loot box.
Where if you have to buy a loot box to get like a cool gun or a cool like skin for your guy. You know? And it's basically feeding into like the gambling aspect of
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, anyone that hears this, if you're kind of new to all this, just go out, like
find something.
If you're willing to spend $1,000 on like a mystery box, take that $1,000, go to an auction.
Yeah.
Go to a bunch of thrift stores.
Go to estate sales.
Trust your gut, trust your judgment. You'll be able to buy so much stuff, and then come home and research it and list it, and you will learn so much.
Yeah.
Just this idea of shortcuts, I think
there's no shortcuts.
Is just it will get you every single time.
Yeah. And you know what is funny too? We've been doing this for 10, 12 years now. I mean, I will get a pile of stuff still. And I'm like, I have no idea what this, I like have no clue what this thing is. And you got to do a little Googling. You got to go on the forum. You got to ask your mom. So yeah, you're still learning. I mean, there's stuff where I'm like, yep, okay, yep, there's that. You know, like you've seen it before and you've sold it before. But then there are some things where you're like, will someone buy this? What is it?
That's what to me is fun about the way we sell, is that we're always going in the nooks and crannies and we're looking for stuff
that's not obvious.
That isn't obvious to us, instead of just like, okay, iPhone cases sell, let's just always buy iPhone cases and
you know, Gucci.
It's kind of fun to have, and then you'll find something cool and it sells.
Yeah.
And, you know.
No, I think that's good advice. It's like, you don't need a mystery box, man. Just go out and look at the stuff that's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Get that stuff.
I don't know. It is interesting. Okay, that's it for this week. You can check out our blog at scavengerlife.com and the forum, scavengerlife.com/forum.
Come talk to us.
We didn't get any questions or comments this week on our voicemail line or people texting us anything. It's 540-407-8486. Call us and tell us what's going on with your week, with things that you think people might be interested in. We post an episode every Monday morning or Sunday night, depending on how quick we get to it. And on Wednesday, Steve, our friend, will post a video that shows what he sold that week. He had a pretty good week this past week.
All right. Good for him.
And you can subscribe through iTunes or YouTube. iTunes will have a limit to how much you can actually hear, but on YouTube, it's all there.
It's all there.
All free.
Yep.
Check it out. I just hang out with you while you list and do the work. No shortcuts. Okay, we're ending this podcast in 3, 2, 1.
Bye.